All right, welcome back. With 55 billionaires and some of the fastest growing economies in the world, Africa's super rich are increasingly spending their fortunes right here in Africa. Whether it's supercars or private jets, companies are vying for a slice of the market ahead of their competitors. As CCTV's Guy Henderson reports from Johannesburg.
As a statement of sophisticated class, few come close to an Aston Martin. This is the new Rapide S, already out in Europe and the United States, in African showrooms from 2014. There are only two, both here in South Africa. Total sales, such talk would be crass in these circles. Around 50 cars, continent-wide annually, hardly a roaring trade. Perhaps it's the $300,000 price tag. And that's only for this, last year's model. But top-end automakers are thinking long-term.
Aston Martin are now convincing the people that you might not have considered owning your Aston Martin in South Africa, but you can. You can have your car serviced and looked after, by qualified, trained individuals right here in Sandton. And like I suggested to you earlier on, we'll fly abroad. We'll go to Mauritius, look after our clients there. So you can enjoy your wealth here. Why take it out of Africa?
Not immune to the global downturn, but bouncing back. And Africa remains a key potential market where roads allow. Comparatively lowly, Porsche saw sales nearly double in 2012. For Audi, that took 3 years. When the potholes prove an aggravation, the super rich go airborne. Tens of millions of dollars for a newer model, though charter companies like this one just outside Johannesburg see themselves as a more reasonable alternative. Again, a dip in business in the last few years, but partly due to increasing wealth, sales are increasing. Now, one of the big drivers of growth in this part of the world comes from oil and gas executives who need to get to remote locations, and they need to do it fast and regularly. Now, if they were forced to travel with the general public from, say, here to parts of West Africa, they'd still have to go via Europe. So the advantage of one of these is that now a regional tour that might used to have taken a month would be cut to just a week.
Flying into
Somewhere like CAR.
Yes. Well, that's
and time, says NAC's boss, is money. His company was an early entry into the Nigerian market, oil rich but infrastructure poor. It's now second only to China in terms of growth in private jet purchases. And it's the lower end, if you can call it that, that's coming through.
An aircraft that was $17 million in 2008, you can buy today for under $5 million. So that's a lot of value for a potential buyer. We've seen a tremendous uptick in people realizing the value of this as a business tool as opposed to what was always deemed the chairman's toy.
These aren't wheels suited to rougher terrain, and yet luxury cars like these are still selling. Where they don't, these wings are picking up the slack for the lucky few that can afford it. Guy Henderson, CCTV, Johannesburg, South Africa.
America's Motor City is getting ready to host the North American International Auto Show, or as some might better know it, the Detroit Auto Show. It'll be Detroit's first major event since the city filed for bankruptcy in July of 2013, the largest municipal bankruptcy case in the U.S. history. But as CCTV correspondent Rosa Kazan now reports, things are looking bright for the city.
We're here at the gallery, the event which officially kicks off 2 weeks of the 2014 North American International Auto Show here in Detroit. And this is sort of an appetizer, a teaser, if you will. It's a salon, a display that's showcasing the world's most elite vehicles, 28 of them in total. And it's really like creme de la creme of global luxury and performance car makers. Maserati, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Rolls-Royce, Porsche, Bentley, they're all here. And these are very special cars with some very special price tags from $100,000 to $400,000. And one car that especially drew our attention is this one, Falcon F7. It's a sport car that's made here in the Detroit metropolitan area, and it's a very special car. The entire body, the entire shell of this car is made out of carbon fiber. This is what's called an exotic boutique car. So they began producing it about 2 years ago, and only 8 of these cars so far have been made and sold in the world.
The customers can order whatever exterior color they want, and then the inside, actually you can customize combinations of suede, leather, colors, etc. The funny thing about this particular one right here is that the owner's wife had just purchased a handbag, and she said, I really like the color of this handbag. Let's make our Falcon F7 the same color.
So there you go, a very special car, all yours for just $225,000. And the show itself, of course, is going to be huge. This year is going to see some 500 vehicles on display and 50 new model and concept car introductions. Around 5,000 journalists from around the globe are going to be covering the event, and 800,000 people are expected to attend the public show. All of this, of course, is going to be extremely beneficial for Detroit's economy.
The show itself is a couple $100 million investment or economic boom for the city every single year. So not only is it a big international component, but it's a major component for Detroit's economy.
One of the most anticipated introductions is going to come from Ford. It is due to unveil its latest 2015 Ford 150 pickup truck, which has, of course, been the best-selling car in this country over the last 30 years. Rosa Kazan, CCTV, Detroit.
All right, let's go now to the markets to see what we've been tracking here for you at BizAfrica. Closing the day today, the Nigerian All-Share Index is ending the day here in the red, down 0.10%. We move to the JSE, which is ending the day today in the green, up 0.79%. We go to the Nairobi Securities Exchange, which is posting today down in the red, 0.84%. And lastly, to the EGX, which is closing the day today in the green, up to about 2%. And that's all we have for business tonight.